I hit hard. Alright, but I did went to the second stage. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna try to get after them. If they're nearby, it's useful, but okay. This is annoying. Okay, that's a good time to use that. Straight. Are you? This. Okay, now I'm definitely can't do it. 7, 8, 9, 10. Why did I disregard this? No, I definitely can't win. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is not good. Yeah, the last one is blank. Pride before the fall. Try play with God and you get burned. Period. Man, that's be burned. Okay, that's good. I'd like to point out you disproved the point of the poem. It's true of each animal, so that later on in life that you can actually you can recreate the species. You are doing the thing, but doing the one part of the thing that disproves why he did the thing in the first place. But I love my voice. So why would I stop? Because please. I'm just gonna have this. Never seen you so quiet before. What's got you out there? I'm trying to read Sharp's diary. He still had that? And then he left it behind? Don't worry, there's nothing, something. um, yeah, I don't know what that word is. I'm definitely making this a clip soon, but don't know what that is. It's all business, nothing else on the man's mind, apparently. Bad punishment the whole way through. But there's later entries. Do you know if he ever spoke to Doc about paranoia? Maybe OCD? I never heard anything like that. There's a bead of sweat.
The moon! We will fight the moon! Yes, I know that's from a movie, another movie. So yeah, first, yes, I know that's from the Minions, and yes, secondly, I know I'm not doing the quote correctly, which is, we will steal the moon. Not, we will fight the moon. I just thought, because they are fighting the moon, that was somewhat fitting. I don't regret my actions, I'm just saying. So I like this. One of the things that I love, and slowly gets interested, is sort of the sides. And the other thing I also do like is you kind of get two sides, because like in a lot of conflicts you kind of get, okay, I actually don't know how to do it, so it's like you have side A, and yes, I'm using this, but that's besides the point. You have side A. These are good people. They do good things, and they are moral and happy. But then you have the bad side. But this one is like, you have sides, which I don't mind simplistic, because I'm fine with that. And you kind of, I think even from the get-go, you kind of can tell that. The one thing I also find a little bit, but I feel like it's for a purpose, is you get this sort of like revolutionary bad, but I feel like, again, but yeah. But the one thing I like is there's a certain sort of like enemy, which is sort of like the king of the moon. Yes, I know, I'm bad with names. But the one thing I like about it is that earlier on, this person came from the moon, and we sort of like, wait, what's going on? And he somewhat goes to Earth. But you have two people left behind. And then what turns out, his friend, who we thought was left behind, is that. And I like how that later leads on to the conflict, and I also like that at the beginning, where that's the mystery, you don't really get too many viewpoints from that side. And after you sort of get that reveal, and then he sort of somewhat joins this side, you get more angles from their point of view, questioning how sort of like his old team would react, meaning they would get less time, which is interesting. I also like so many conflicts are just like, there's more on like, I think later on about like, because like this person's here, it's really interesting because of that. And I definitely like the conflict. I also like that at the end, even though he is arrested, he takes on the mantle of like the sort of like king of the moon and sort of creates a democracy, which is fun. But yeah. So yeah, I definitely think this is fun and definitely worth watching. Definitely in my opinion. Re-recorded this here. For the first couple of these, there's not going to be many, but here. Yeah. And now this. From one series questioning what is true to another series that's questioning the truth of reality itself in the normal day world. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and good night.
Why do I always use this song? Da 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 da. This is a very fine. Um. 7, 8, 9, 10. Why did I disregard this? Now I definitely can't win. Okay. I keep losing at this because I keep getting disregarding. Actually, no, I didn't. I got a couple. I'm really bad at this, and I hate it. Okay. 4 to 3. Okay, I'm gonna do this because I feel like that would be useful, and then because I feel like that would be a better bet. Yay! I also most likely might die if... Yeah, I think he has the right cards to play. You are having a huge fan of this game, right? Oh, I absolutely love this game. The problem is, I'm trying to beat... Because I've beaten one game, and then I've beaten one game with a double. And then I'm trying to beat one game with a double. So doing it twice. But I think he's gonna just... Cool. Okay, then I die. And that's it. So sadly, that's it. Fortunate. Uh-oh. How unfortunate. I know that you were sneaky thing. For a new contender in the ring. Boom. That's not good. I don't think so. I did not know what to do with that. Also, where's the sound? What was that? Like a demon, but no, that's just hilarious. Okay. Delete. Yeah, this might take a while because I need to delete a bunch of stuff. Why does it take so long? Ah, that is dark. Today's a good day to smile. No one's in their right mind would ever use that. Today's a good day to smile. To smile. To smile. It sounds like a thing that, like, a horror game made on A Good Day to Smile. Jeez. Well, I think I think it's neat. You finished the morning routine silent, lost in thoughts. The first half of your shift passes without incident, despite your nervousness.
Left or right? Which door will you take? None of them? Oh, okay. But yeah, I like this because I'm a person who, so this sort of like has this main theming of sort of questioning religion. There's a lot of like debates on like, is it real or not, which I kind of like because I kind of like love the idea of like, I like that idea. Besides the twist, I'm always a person where I'm like, I fully am interested in like sort of like religion. Well, I'm also into psychology and religion, because the idea of which is, actually no, I'll just keep it back. Because every so often you could be like, and then circle sometimes appears because of my hand. Anyway, I just like it because I'm interested about what other people believe in, and a lot of the time you can learn what their sort of like ideology is, because a lot of the times, sometimes religion is a way to look at how you view ideologies, which I think is interesting. Sometimes you take it too far, that leads to some people getting hurt. Not going to name specific names because there's too many to count, but have certain things, and there's certain things connected to a specific country. Yeah, it's very complicated, but because of that, yeah. The one thing which I think I would also need to go in and say but is, obviously the point of this thing is that he's not a good person. And it basically shows that he sort of has this thing of like, I will like put this in this controlling nature, and he did this thing, and it's interesting. But it's, oh, these people have this certain level of control over them, and that's how they just gave in. Which, no, that's a bad thing. Don't do that. Like, I'm sort of agnostic. I don't believe in God. I just sort of see the world, and then I take that as a thing. I am also going to say up front, but I was baptized. Not important in my opinion, but that is a fact. I was sort of like in a home which is Christian. And you always debate every single day. Anyway. But that's another thing that isn't connected to anything. It's just more, I saw things happen. I'm like, and also I became more like, okay, so here's how the world works, which questions. But because of that, I like the ending, but it's not, it doesn't go into like the whole, you should question religion to the point of, maybe not that far. Again, this is more talking about the idea of the movie, because the movie's just good. And definitely with the twist, I think elevates it. I just wanted to talk about the idea of like questioning. But yeah. I almost forgot to do the conclusion part, even though I probably should be after. But yeah. All that being said, it is fun, and it is, when you learn about each power piece, it's really interesting. But more importantly, these. Again, short for each one. If there's anything important to say, I will add it. But yeah. So yeah, another book. Which is funny because I kind of accidentally left this picture, so I didn't have a picture for the third book of this, so I had to get it. Anyway. Moriarty. And I flipped to the first page and yeah, this is gonna be dark. Yeah, I'm surprised that we still tell people Alice in Wonderland. I like Alice in Wonderland, but like, the guy was high. You have to admit, some of the stuff is, by the way, most of the people in this are smoking.
I would also prefer. I definitely think it's better than The Godfather. Okay, 2 lucky cards and max of 50, currently 4. Gives the total sell value of all jokers by. So that later I could sell, because it's just 40. Discovered. Played cards with even numbers have a multiplier. Okay. 2 of a pack. So how much have I got? £8. I've had drama. The drama. 3 people made Pacific. Comes every year. Anyway, drama with Criminal Minds. And yes, I know it's on Disney Plus. Sue me, I don't care. I've had more dramas. I've had horror. I've had musicals. I've had music. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but Oh, oh. Oh, hi. Playing a bit of FNAF. And dying a lot. Also playing The Simpsons in the background. I'm starting to learn how to do Ladies' Night. Meaning I have... You bet... Yeah, I'm going to keep the sound here. Oh, shoot. You're here. That's not great. Well, it's also not that bad. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. Again, Bart actually went to jail for once. Jesus fuck! You're talking about killing a man! That is morbid. Gratitude. You placed your hand on Dr. Shardale. Thank you. You're called Dr. John. Well, I do have to ask you. Check your nose. Chesley Hazard, why did you want to speak to me here about places? Wait. Tapped your knee with a hammer. Yours. Always mine for safety, Rayleigh. Okay, what the fuck? I called it! I called it! Excuse me, what just happened? Huh? Yeah, what just happened? She was in the railing? I think I'm gonna vomit. Do that in the shredder. It completely discards anything organic. Yeah, like a human body! Why are there two dead people? I need to change his name! Not that if I can do. What the fuck do dead people? I'm not.
Books! Books! Let's get into it. So two things which is funny. This, I forgot to take the picture for. So that's a oopsie. But yeah. But again, one, I have talked about a lot of these stuffs in earlier ones, but I wanted to kind of do my own ones because I think 1 minute's not too much time. So I am just gonna give him some more time. Because why not? Second one. But one of the main reasons I want to talk about this is more specifically talking about the spoilers of it. Which one, this is sort of dealing with the conclusion of the sort of like first case, the one that was in Moriarty 2. The case that sort of led to Sherlock being arrested. Which for, I think, half the book, because the other half deals with another case. Because I like that books 2 and 3 have a lot of connections to it. 2 introduces both Sherlock and a mystery of this sort of like human hunting that somewhat exists. Not a morally thing, but like it exists, some like rich people are doing it. And it also introduces Sherlock. Later on in book 2, they bring up a mystery around the sort of like this mysterious killer that has Sherlock's name. It introduces his strength, and book 3 continues this and solves that mystery and shows Sherlock's way of thinking alongside the end of 2. And then ends the book with the confirmation of the human hunting and who else was involved and how effed up. There's a whole thing of like how many people. It's so effed up, and like you see like there's one moment where you see like two children, and it's like, oh, you hope it's them left, and you see their heads in jars later, and it's like, excuse me, what? No, we're not gonna look past this. What the fuck was that? It's good. I am not gonna lie. It wasn't as impactful as reading it, but that was mostly because I watched the anime first. And I feel like it feels different, because by reading this, because I saw the thing first, and sort of knowing that this would happen, I sort of had a sense of premonition when it did happen. And you see the children, and it was kind of this feeling of, but you would, I think that's just more specifically, I watched the anime first, I was like, oh, please be alive, and then they show where they don't survive, and their heads are in, again, jars, which is, but at the same time, sorry, just like doing this. At the same time, when I read this book, I got the opposite, which is basically I saw them knowing that they would die, and then they got back. Which I would say probably, if you read the book first, shock here that they and really annoyance, like shock that they didn't die, and then sort of a guilt feeling that when they sort of like, where they sort of like know that we're going to die. I think that's just knowing, and I think it's interesting because of that. So yeah. This is a good book series. Someone recommended it to me. I was like, I really Moriarty the series, and then I came back to it. So yeah, this is really good, and definitely the art is something that should definitely be given props to. It looks phenomenal. You should definitely go watch it. And yes, here you go. Here's this. Yay. If anything comes from this, I am going to mention it. So yeah, go to the Patreon, add a comment if you want to. And then another Marvel Netflix, which is going to be really good, because I think Luke Cage only got 2 series. So this is going to be weird. But yeah.
Okay. I love it. It looks. So this is a diamond, but my rank is higher than that. So I feel like that could be a lot. So I'm not gonna risk it. Okay. Got that. This is worthless. What? Why do I want to get this? Actually, no, that's probably what I need. I probably need. Don't know what that does either. Oh, wait. I prefer that. I definitely prefer that. I don't know what that does. Grayscale. Grayscale death. Okay, grayscale death. Let's take that to there. That would be useful. Oh no, that's audio videos, language. We'll just keep the English. Controllers. We have this. I'm going to keep it on mouse. Okay. Anyway. Credits. Oh no, I don't want credits. I'm going to do a multiplayer sometimes. But I don't know when. Overall, I don't know. The father who constantly chokes out his own son. Yay!
Everyone underestimates me, but then they turn their back, and I'm like, boo!
And they're like, bleh. Also, I forgot to mention this. So I said before that I've gone through a bunch of my DVDs, and I am still going to go through them. But the one thing which I forgot to mention, I looked at the Pokemon DVD that came out, and I got this. Can I see it? Let me just show Jay if I can see it, and I can like see it. Can you see it? Let me just. No, I think I can see it. I got this. I don't know if that's a good thing. I also love that realistically, it's really hilarious. You get things like coffee break and corkscrew punch, which is hilarious. I love Barney's switch between a person in AA to an alcoholic every single episode. And you think like that, and that's bad. It's partly good because one, realistically, you do switch between the two. But I love how that's not pointed out. Yet there's like here's him being alcoholic, being like, oh yes, I'm pretending to be drunk. And then every single episode is like, and then this. So it's both, I like it because it's switching up, being like, that just switches up. The idea was like, that would be realistic. But it also means you just jump between, by the way, he's an alcoholic, by the way, he's not, he's in AA, and he's actually just drinking coffee half the time. It's very confusing. But it's very weird, the town.
One or two missing people. I disagree on that, but Tesla seems like a big company. It's like the Amazon. Do you really think anyone's going to be able to do shit with them?
I joke with that, but it's true. It shouldn't be true, but it is.
Amazon is untouchable for stupid reasons, and it shouldn't be. Definitely Amazon's future. People die and Amazon does not count. Again, I joke. But I'm not. But it will soon become the future. This is not... I guess not. Correct. But why giving me my... Because you want it, of course. Donis,
One of the Marvel Netflix series is over. Let's do this. So yeah, Luke Cage. So on Marvel Netflix, you kind of had 5 main series and then one midway through, sort of like a combined series. You had Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and if I'm correct, Iron Fist. I don't know if it's Daredevil or Iron Fist because sometimes. Anyway, Iron Fist. Those 4 series. You also get the Punisher, but besides interacting with Daredevil, that doesn't really connect much. But this is because Daredevil gets 3 series, and there is a series coming up later, which is canonically later than this. You have Jessica Jones, which has 1 more series left. You have Iron Fist, which has 1 more series left. You still have the Punisher, which has 1 more series left. And Defenders only have 1 series. So this is the first one out of those groups of like Netflix Marvel that is finished. And did I think it did a good job? Because what I've heard is that this isn't liked as much. A lot of people don't like this. Which, okay, fair. But overall, I like it. It's fun. It's cool. But the one thing I do know, and I am going this slightly spoiled with something else, is that one, Danny Rage or Iron Fist is in this series for a bit. I think it's not that much, 2 episodes, so not a majority of the series, but it is still cool and it is still fun. And at the end of this, which I think gets him, Luke Cage and Danny Ryan in a bit of a fight, the person who's now in charge of sort of like the club, that was sort of like the main sort of like confrontation between season 1 and season 2, is Luke Cage, which I think is a fun idea. It's really cool. And how that worked with what's happened in this one is definitely fun. So yeah, this is definitely worth watching. It's so fun and so entertaining. So yeah, the next this stuff, nothing more to add about this, but yeah. And now, Simpsons. Yeah, this has been a while, but yeah, Simpsons. So yeah.
Marge Simpson.
Okay, I love this. I love that. That's the most thing of like Homer becoming the Grim Reaper is the most funny thing. For all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed to perish 418 times, and I will die more. So yeah. So yeah. This is worthless. What? Why do I want to get this? Actually, no, that's probably what I need. I probably need to get Antion. Okay, so I'm just gonna open. Okay, this is already hard, so I'm just gonna use this. Da-da-da-da.
Cheap cardboard box. You didn't you? Well, there's another live.
I love it. Oh, well, that's my job done. Okay. Here you lose some. Why do I constantly just keep taking and sometimes you get burned? Yeah, I kind of think about that. I just too bad of like you like say, oh, I can get something. Do, 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 and and I am going to fail. I feel like this is good. I'm good. So, do you think this is the best modding material? Yeah, Plague Inc. The problem is, I'm bad because if you look here, I want to get Nerova, because the rest I've got silver besides a couple of the other ones. I might try a Parasite, see if I can get Parasite to gold. But then I'm going to go to hit. Oh, yes. Yes, this is good. I need to see where my audio is because sometimes I'm behind. So, yes, this is good. But if this is good, or would you recommend another stuff? Because I don't know. Yeah, it is, yes. So, company, speaking of which, I should transfer the rest. Done. I'm loaded. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of moolah. And yes, I shall use that word because for some reason my language is very weird. I don't know. I don't even know where I heard the word moolah before. I think it was like some film. Probably some film. Don't know where it came from. Also, I know it means moolah means money, but that's it. I don't know where it comes from, and I think it's not English. I think it's slang, but I don't know what slang. I don't know. So, you should call it tonight. I have 100 energy, that's good. Can we run through it one more time?
So Donna quit just like that, with no backup plans. She took the plunge.
Okay. So, the demo. Made by Unity, which is in a lot of things. Oh! Okay, I actually do like this. Okay, so I might need to go to settings and then check. Not this. Yeah, disabled. I'm gonna see if I can change text speed so I can read. Because I know there's a thing about there being text speed, and I've also seen a bit of it. I haven't seen enough, and I don't remember enough. I do remember some of the beats, and there are multiple choices. But I don't know. Okay. Let me just.
So yeah, another one of these, which I like doing this odd way. I've done it a while. There's going to be a couple more things added, so we're going to do that. But this, again, I'm slowly watching The Simpsons, and slowly but surely, it is fun and insane. And I am getting to the point, because I think, not yet, in the next one, because I've got 2 sets of 3, which is really bad, but the way I've done this is really weird. But to fix it, I've also added another section. I've started watching, again, this is all very weird, but I need this to say, oh, again, weird besides the point, of Big Bang Theory. So 1, 2, and 3 might appear here. But roughly round about this section and more near the next lot is roughly when I stopped. Because I think at a certain point I'm like, I can't watch this, this is a sitcom. And I'm like, And I think at a certain point, there is a certain time where I just saw sitcoms as just bad, which, to be fair, isn't true. But it is a thing where I'm not a fan of just repetitiveness, and at a certain point, I have said this in a couple of my clips of my long form review stuff, which is basically the idea of and edit, and edit, and beta, which is for me a bit annoying because all you get is death, and destruction. So that is a thing. But there is some good episodes, so yeah. And then yeah, this, nothing more to add. But yeah, I'm going to carry on watching The Simpsons. There's another one of these. Again, I don't know. I started doing season 1, 2, and 3 all as one, and I'm like, fun. So I did it that way. Also, there's not really much continuity, and usually I have that as in 1 minute, so 3 minutes, 1 season each time. So I usually try and avoid doing multiple seasons nowadays, but I just carry on doing this. Another series that doesn't really have much continuity, but yeah, another one of these. I don't know why. I watched a lot of these, and I think I've sort of run out. There's no more of these, don't worry. But yeah, all of these are done. That was the last one of these sort of World War II documentary stuff. But yeah.
Oh, I love it. I was like, there's a first class? Says the person who's been to space. I would like to repeat myself, has gone to space. So you can't be like, oh wait, there's a first class? Yes, there's a first class. That's how class. Yes. You have done so much and meet so many people. Who cares at this point? It's really it's like Cuphead, Mugman, Alice, we got. See what that does. Value up. Oh, it does! It increases. Okay. So worst case scenario, I can like get this. This is basically an investment item. I don't think I need it for the time being, though. I also forgot that. Plus one hand size. Okay,
I saved this round.
put the plushie. I've got the plushie. The plushie's already been bought, so I'm safe from that. The one that... Shoot, that's bad. I used all my power! Now you can start taking bets on what animatronic will kill me. It's anything but Circus Baby. It's anything but Circus Baby. The rest is pretty simple. Yeah, probably. But yeah. So yeah, you can start taking bets on what's gonna attack me first. Or if anything. I'm surprised I'm not getting anyone. Never mind!
I bet you weren't expecting me, were ya?
Well, out of all the ones, no.
And I'm like, what's you? Ninja skills.
I just like that. What's you? Ninja skills. I love that line. Anyway. Jesus. Global warming doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Oh, when Joe, my daughter, has the same thing. She's at home and she stays there. Are you kidding me? Global warming exists. Even in this 1990, there was enough evidence to prove it existed. The fact that, like, some people... I know I'm not dissing The Simpsons, but The Simpsons is just bringing, like, some people who actually believe, like, the global warming doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like... What's... Tell me something about yourself. What? Doing an interview or something? No, I just asked you. Tell me about yourself. I'm interested. That's like the best way to start a conversation. Being like, yeah, tell me about yourself. Like, tell me something you like. I don't know. Just relax, Bailey. We're off the clock. Yeah, I know. We're off the clock. I would like to point out, I'm not gonna ask you for like your social security. I'm just being like, yeah, tell me about yourself. Tell me what you like. Because I'm not interviewing you, because I just like that question. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. I don't know. Wild. You turn attention to the pattern on the wall and the rest of the program duration. Did you make friends at school today? Didn't you have fun, huh? He was It was like I didn't want back English new game. I like that sort of like weird glitch. Okay, day one. Okay, this is just a demo. I wanted to try the demo before. Hi, I'm Mira. What's your name? Henry. Nice to meet you, Henry. Hi, Henry. Last time I was in a hurry, so I left my room in a mess. Could you help me? Okay, clean. Okay, let's clean. Oh, I can only pick up one item. Okay, put that in there. Good. Yay. Thank you very much. Day 2.
So yeah, the last 2 reviews that yes to be in the same day have no timestamps. This is sort of the last one of these. And this sort of like stuff is fun. I think the next one, I don't know what it will be, but it will be fun. Don't know what, but let's see. I think it's the London Olympics, which will be fun. Bet again. Nothing else to add here though, but Patreon and then the graft. But yeah. And then this, which this means we're going from 1 minute, 3 minutes to 10. Because this is going to be long. Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually going further. Yeah, shoot. Okay, what? I would like to get rid of this.
I would like to point out that's not cheating. If they're not changing the scores, if they're not changing the scores to like something useful, that's not like Bard's fault. That's the school's fault. The school should have been updating their things better. Okay, I feel like that. Okay, I don't need jokers. Okay. Okay. Wow, again teaches you? Criminal. Live. Okay, so starting to learn 50-20. Yeah, that is one of the things that I'm like learning to do. But the one thing that I want to do before like doing like 50-20, I think this is 50-20. 50, doing all of this is on. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yeah, 50-20. But I feel like learning some of these first would be useful. And the first couple that I'm picking is Ladies Night, because I feel like this would be the easiest set to learn. And then I'll learn Bear Attack. And then I'll do Pay Attention. And then I'll do Creepy Crawlies. I did all except Toy Freddy. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I just want to learn these, so that means I get to learn this. Great. This is gonna be hell when I try this. Okay, so multiplayer. Who wants to fight me? Who wants to fight me? Come, I'm ready to be fight. But that doesn't mean you have to end the stream, because I feel like stream sniping. Probably no one's doing that, but anyway. Who wants to fight? Who wants to fight? I'm gonna be here for 2 minutes. At his current, yeah, sure, just coming in and doing the bare minimum. Now, here's the thing, like, do I think this is fine? Yeah. Sure, you can like do that. Like, would I do it? No, because I like doing more. But like, would I be fine being at a specific current position? Yes. Like, if someone's like, do you want to be manager? No, I don't. more responsibility? No. Like, I don't mind, but never letting his rate plummet, but not trying to raise it either. Some people just prefer to be on autopilot. I think he just prefers what he has. It's like fine, like it's like having what he has, but not like wanting to improve. Like, it's fine. I wasted my time. Oh, darling. Let me move the wardrobe to another place. It's really heavy. Okay. Move the cupboard. Okay. Oh, I just need to I need to like do some lifting. Okay, that is 10 times better than what I thought. All I had to do was thing where like you lift the item, you put it down. I'm like, oh, please say that. That's not it. And then it's like, oh no, you just click the area, and then it's like, it moves. I'm like, great, never mind. 10 times better. I'm sorry, I just like how sometimes I am stupid. Thank you, sweetie. Day 33. Oh, Henry, it's been only one day, and I missed you already. I would.
I was trying to do a fun thing. I nearly actually fell into my own table. Yay! That doesn't say anything about how good this is. It's just funny that I just was like trying to do fast. And I'm like, shoot, my table's in the way. So no, don't try and run into the table. Fun fact: if you run into the table, you will hit the table. But yeah, this I think is cool because the idea is you have this train, and Japanese trains are pretty sort of decent. I keep hearing things about like, oh, there's this and that, and like, they apologize for like if they're delayed by even the smallest amount. And then you have us in the UK. I'm sorry, your train will be delayed by another 2 hours.
I wish we had. I know there's a couple of things with certain countries that are better than others. I'm not a train person. I wish I had your train system. Please get me away. I think it's because it's all owned by the government. But again, can't comment, can't say anything. I don't know trains. Just wanted to point that out there. Because I don't know much about this train, but I do know this is cool. And I think this is the same sort of train system that they sort of showed in the Incredibles 2. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it looks the same. But that's America in a really high-tech, futuristic world, and this is in, I think, Japan? I might be dumb. So yeah. Okay, one of the things which I think is good about this is that it takes place sort of like, I'm going to keep this in because why not? It takes place in the train, but that's not what I was trying to say. I tried to say something and then I said it weirdly. Anyway, one thing which is interesting is the characters. Because for the most part, besides the detectives and the train people, most of the people that you might see and interact are sort of some of the big people that are inside the train. Because obviously if a train can't stop, because it's sort of like how I think Speed did it, where it's like, oh, you can't stop, but if you go below a certain thing, it will go. Mm-hmm. The more important storyline is the people, still on said train because they can't leave. I think compared to a bus, because this is going insanely fast, and I think the bus in the last one, I think wasn't going too fast. I might be wrong, because debatably, I'm referring to the concept of the movie, not the movie itself, because I have not watched it. So it could be like, I think it's 100 miles per hour, which I think is you can't get out of, but I don't know. Again, not important to this. But it's that sort of idea of like, the people in the situation can't leave the situation while still being alive. Well, they can leave the situation, but I don't think that's a good idea. Call me crazy. But overall, one of the major things that's important with this is during this, when they sort of leave at a certain point, when they, when they go through the speeding thing, you're sort of like doing persuasion and you have the money. And I thought that was going to be a more interesting focus of like, sort of looking inside of like, how are people going to do it? It's not, but it is an interesting idea of like people trying to set the money. And it's brought up later where it's like, it's not, people aren't giving as much when they got a couple people out. And I think only 6 to 5 people are left. I think it's 6, but I'm saying 6 to 5 for a good reason. Wait. Yeah, no, it's more than 6, because I think the way I'm doing it, there's 6 passengers, 1 person still there, and 1 person at the front. So I think there's 5 passengers, 1 interesting, 1 conductor, and 1 of the person controlling the train. I also liked how they did it, how they did all the tricks, and how they did everything. It's so intense. And there's a little thing, I don't know why, but it sort of like shows how intense it is, being like for bumping, for crashing, all of this stuff before it even starts. At least on the Netflix version. And I like it because it's sort of like, welcome to the chaos you're about to watch. But then, a reveal is happening. That's on purpose, I just had this and I thought that would be funny. Where, guess who's on the train? And who I've been luring to for the last couple of seconds? The person who placed, or at least one of the 2 people who did this. And it's interesting, and I like the idea that at a certain point, it's revealed because you see, I think this old person who's connected to the old case that this is seemingly connected to, but it's in an interesting way. So here's how it's connected. The person who's on the train who's doing this is the daughter of the person of the cop who shot the person who originally did the explosion. And she wants to do it because her father constantly takes that credit and fame and and it's really interesting. But I also like the fact that at a certain point, when she's got what she wants, which is basically her dad dying through another explosion, she's fully willing to be like, do you know what? You want to sit on the phone? Make me go to sleep for a long period of time. I'm gonna use that instead. I know a lot of people are like, oh, just say this, and there's Saku where's oh, you're not brave enough to say it. No. I'm not risking it. I am not risking it at all. It's not because I wouldn't say that. No, I just in general, so that's nothing to do with that. That's just something I wanted to say. I just remembered it when I was not being how do I say this? But that's an interesting idea. But you also have the person who gave her, which is basically the son of the person who did it, who's annoyed that because some people who are from that area would basically want to it sort of seemed like he wanted to end it with his own explosion, but because the cop shot him, he couldn't. So it's a sort of revenge on that front. And I also like the fact that at the end, the conductor's idea of everyone's my passenger, because legitimately if I was on the train, I'm I might have thought about it, because there are, I think, six passengers who I still need to look after versus one. It's messy and kind of a bit debating into morals, but it is interesting because of that. And because I think I'm running out of time, I do need to kind of do this. So yeah, this is fun, this is cool. Go and watch it. It's insane and really interesting. So I do think this is 100% worth watching. So yeah. I said I was going to be the last one in the last review, but yeah. Good stuff. Yay. So yeah, carrying on. Now we have a bit of a shorter one than this one, but still something fun, something awesome. Yeah, this is mostly just fun, madness, I don't know. It's also I think one of the older ones, anime wise. Also it's been a while because I've got a couple of things crossing in between this. So yeah, this is still cool though. Yeah, it's basically 30 seconds left, so I'm just gonna keep on this. For some reason. I don't know. Let's do it anyway. Oh wait, no. Okay, this might go bad. Not because of this, it's because I might actually fall. So if I do this correct. Goodbye. Good night.